Some of you may know him as the totally excellent slacker from Bill and Ted.
Bill, what? Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
While others will have admired his action chops in Point Break and The Matrix. Or maybe you've just heard that he's the nicest guy ever.
No way!
But whenever you do hear something about actor Keanu Reeves, there's always a sense of mystery about whether or not it's true. And that is mainly because his past is so veiled in intrigue, a lot of which revolves around some deeply saddening points in his personal life.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and in this video, we're exploring the heartbreaking life of Keanu Reeves, from his woes to his woes. Although Reeves has been acting on stage since he was 9 years old, it wasn't until the early 80s that he made his screen debut in an episode of the Canadian sitcom Hangin' In.
And then, what was a television show called Hanging In, and I got to play a tough guy, and my line was, "Hey lady, where's the bathroom?"
Hey, where do you keep the towels? Pete said we could use a shower.
But given that his stepfather, or at least one of his stepfathers, was a Broadway and Hollywood director, it's a wonder his break didn't come sooner. Well, like most of Reeves' early years, unpredictability had a lot to do with it. Born in Beirut, Lebanon in 1964, Reeves' parents split after his dad abandoned his family when he was just 3 years old.
You know, Miss Buckman, you need a license to buy a dog. Or drive a car. Hell, you need a license to catch a fish. But they'll let any butt-reaming asshole be a father.
What soon followed were multiple remarriages by his mother and numerous relocations to places like Sydney and New York.
Excuse me, could you tell me where this is? I mean, where we are exactly? It's just that I don't know where I am.
Most of his childhood, however, was spent in Toronto. Due to his somewhat diverse youth, Reeves attended 4 high schools in just 5 years, one of which he was expelled from due to his, quote, rambunctious behavior, as he puts it.
I egged your house once when I was a sophomore.
He's also spoken out about how he struggled with dyslexia while studying. And although he had a rather successful stint as an ice hockey goalie, he decided to shelve his Olympic ambitions and set his sights on acting at the age of 15.
So when I was 15, my mother recalls me going up to her and saying, "Do you mind if I become an actor?" So I did it at 15. Okay. And I was a pretty self-motivated kid and started taking acting classes. And the environment that I could do that here in the city was amazing.
Ultimately, he dropped out of high school when he was 17 and didn't obtain his high school diploma.
I didn't have a traditional path.
Yeah,
I mean, I went to 4 different high schools.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I would say through that, I was lucky because I knew as a young person what I wanted to do.
Yes, you knew.
You know, I was 15 and I was like, I wanted to become an actor, and so I started to study and do all of the things that I needed to do to try and achieve that.
But determined to follow his dream of being an actor, he moved to LA when he was 20 and got his first gig on the aforementioned Hangin' In sitcom. Oh, and who can forget his appearance in this 80s Coca-Cola commercial?
Hey, I'm proud of you, really proud. A Coke. What race? Who's your coach? My dad.
His first significant movie role came in 1986's River's Edge, and thanks to its critical success, many other roles followed, including 2 huge breakout roles in 1989's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Parenthood.
I'm sorry. My brothers were ragging on me and I couldn't back down. But last night, I told them, they mean nothing. You mean everything.
Slowly but surely, Reeves was climbing up the pecking order as one of Hollywood's big up-and-coming talents. It wasn't all smooth sailing, however, as Reeves spent a lot of his time in the early 90s caring for his sister Kim, who was diagnosed with leukemia. Since then, Reeves has done a lot to help further cancer research, donating large chunks of his salary to the effort, and to a bunch of other charities too.
Please join me by making a donation to G3CS so that we can help support incredible programs like this one for children, veterans, and their families.
With 1991's Point Break and 1994's Speed, Reeves managed to defy critics' typecast expectations and become a bona fide action hero. And during his ascension to A-list fame, Reeves became extremely close friends with River Phoenix, an actor of a similar age and outlook to himself. They famously co-starred alongside each other in My Own Private Idaho.
What do I mean to you?
What do you mean to me? Mike, you're my best friend.
I know, man. I know I'm your friend. We're good friends, and it's good to be, good friends. That's a good thing.
But sadly, Phoenix suddenly died in 1993 from a drug overdose. Reeves was absolutely devastated, but was determined to stay positive and not fall into the ever-present toils of young, astray actors.
Did you spend that money right away? Would you save it?
It's gone.
It's gone now.
Reeves has never been one to be motivated by money, with numerous stories being told about how he's basically given away his earnings. But his ambition to delve deeper into his acting and self-fulfillment was embodied in the mid-90s when he refused to return for the Speed sequel, despite being reportedly offered a huge $11 million paycheck.
Yeah. Then there was a sequel to Speed. You were not in the sequel to Speed.
No, I didn't get to be in that.
What do you mean you didn't get to be in that?
Well, I decided not to.
Oh, okay, well that's it.
Instead, Reeves opted to tour with his band Dogstar and to take on the leading role of Hamlet in a stage production. Unfortunately for Reeves, 20th Century Fox didn't like that he'd shunned the sequel, reportedly blacklisting the actor from any of its productions for around 10 years. 1999 was arguably the biggest year of Reeves' movie career, in the 20th century at least, as it saw him star as Neo in the blockbuster hit The Matrix.
How?
He is the one.
Coincidentally, it also saw some inspiring hope for his sister Kim, who thankfully went into remission after her decade-long fight with cancer. But the year still wasn't without suffering for Keanu. In December, Reeves' then-girlfriend Jennifer Simi sadly gave birth to their stillborn child at 8 months. This devastation put a lot of strain on Reeves and Simi's relationship, and the couple broke up several weeks later. Reeves suffered more heartache when Simi was involved in a tragic car accident in early 2001, which saw her thrown from the vehicle and killed instantly.
What do you think happens when we die, Keanu Reeves?
I know that the ones who love us will miss us.
In the new millennium, Reeves' acting career and personal life has come under a lot of scrutiny. His lack of what some may deem as a typical Hollywood persona has thrown some people off, with some assuming that his humble and grounded lifestyle is indicative of an actor that's washed up. In fact, to add insult to injury, he found himself being sued for over $700,000 by a photographer in 2008, who claimed Reeves injured him with his car. The photographer lost the suit after a jury quickly dismissed any wrongdoing on Reeves' behalf. Reeves' quest for self-expression hasn't dwindled, though. From the mid-noughties onwards, he starred in a highly eclectic list of movies, from The Day the Earth Stood Still to B-movies like Henry's Crime.
What are you in for?
Bank robbery.
Nice, clean, simple. I like it.
I didn't do it.
No, of course not. I mean, mistaken identity.
What are you in for?
Life.
He's even dabbled in documentary filmmaking, literature, and directing with 2013's Man of Tai Chi.
I can't fight Tai Chi for money. It's dishonorable.
You must have responsibilities. A master, parents. Fight for them.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. On the surface, Reeves' career can seemingly be summed up as a young actor who's slowly grown out of cheesy 90s roles
69, dudes!
to become a bit of a hit-and-miss action star. But when you look at his personal life, you realize that that is clearly not the full story. He's faced turmoil some of us could only imagine in our worst nightmares. And yet, despite all of the emotional battery he's taken, he's remained focused, level-headed, positive, and extremely humble. 2019's so-called Keanu-sance had plenty of evidence of that. So it's not that surprising that Keanu is commonly referred to as the nicest, most sincere guy in Hollywood.
Now I know what it feels like to be completely starstruck.
The only stars that matter are the ones you look at when you dream.
Thank you.
And that is the heartbreaking life of Keanu Reeves. He's had plenty of reason over the years to go off the rails, but we're glad he's remained the likable legend he is today.
You're breathtaking!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.